Good morning. Where do I even start? So, get stories are there's like six shootings one day. I mean, I only know of one, but that's enough. And too much going on. I mean, as far as, the last two candidates, what's the point in even voting? So, just because Hillary Clinton was married to another president, don't mean she was going to be as good as him. Donald Trump, I don't even know what to say to that. So, just you know, people can keep saying what they want about greatest country on earth, but look at the advertisement right now. So if you want other countries to look in, then I don't think you have to worry about any more immigrants because who wants to come to that, right? And it's ridiculous. I try to say what I have to say about all the shootings and the killings and Black Lives Matter, and it's true. Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter on top of that. Because, I mean, whether you're Mexican, black, any sort of not white, it's ridiculous. And I'm really starting to believe that there's going to be some sort of segregation that's going to happen. And people trip all the time and say, oh, don't turn this to race, don't do this. But, I mean, if you really look at it, I don't know if it's true or not. I want to check my facts first. But to even see that there's an article about, banning dreadlocks and, native black hairstyles and, the jobs and all that, it's like they're trying to push us out. I don't get it. It's where are we supposed to go? Because you can keep using that line, go back to where you came from, but all the black folk there now was born in America. So you had all the time that you brought them there and bring the original black folk back. But now that we've done breeded and, there's so many of us, all we go back to is our homes in America. So that don't make sense. With this debating about money and taxes and healthcare, how can you be that great if you can name I don't know how many different places that have better healthcare system than us. I mean, and now charging people. If people are already broken up that they can't afford healthcare, then what makes you think that they have the money to pay for the penalties of not having the healthcare that they can't pay for? So that never made sense to me either. And I don't like all this taxes and extra money, and it just seems like this money taken from you than given to you. So yeah, it makes people a little bit angry. So if you see people hostile, there's a reason for that. Can you blame us? So I feel like there's a lot of people out there that's just politicians, I should say, or anybody that's more privileged that make all these rules and and say things about us to their standards. But when can we get some politicians and more people that are like us? I'm not just even talking about race and color. I mean like us, poverty, from projects, ghetto, been on welfare, on unemployment, been through the struggle. Doesn't mean that everybody that's ever been through the struggle is uneducated. So there's plenty of people out there that have been through these problems that are capable of being pretty good politicians because it's supposed to be for the people. And right now it seems like they're for their people. So if you're not on that level of class, then you're not even looked at no more. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I mean, people could keep saying we're fighting for these freedoms and dying and sacrificing, but I can honestly say I feel sorry for the soldiers out there that are doing that right now because they're dying for all the wrong reasons. So I don't know, thousands and thousands, like maybe hundreds of thousands. I don't know the real number of troops out there that are just sacrificing their lives for the joke that's happening right now. So if there's so much going on within the country itself and so many problems, people dying, all the protests going on now and all that. If you really want to protect your people, we need to put the people who are protecting us around us because right now the Middle East is less of a problem than our own country is because Al Qaeda and all the other people you're looking for aren't in the U.S. So you can try to protect us from outside the country, but who's protecting us inside the country? Can't really tell the police anymore because who's going to protect us from the police? So I'm just saying, I'm not big on history and I never really liked that class in the first place. I did pay attention. I just didn't like to participate because I already saw from the beginning a lot of a lot of stories and a lot of events and wars and stuff that went on that already didn't make sense. So people run here to get rid of a bad situation, or should I say, people immigrated to the United States to get away from bad taxes and just being ruled over by a king and not having a say in everything. And then the more the country builds, the more you see that it's pretty much happening. I mean, you can call it democracy and say, "Oh, you have a president and people vote and we have a say," but I mean, if that was true, there'd be a lot of things that would improve because the people said that we why can't we have healthcare like Canada, Germany, all these other places. I mean, if other countries are capable of doing it and we're better off than they are, as they say, then why are we not capable of doing that ourselves? So I mean, all the veterans out there and other people that just it's hard for them to get by. You're just gonna let them keep struggling. So I mean, I've witnessed other countries help people who are in need. I'm in a country currently right now that helps people who are in need. Does have its up and downs, yes, but I mean, wouldn't you rather live knowing that at least you tried, even if something happened, at least you tried, than just to say let them fall? Then it looks like you're not really for your people. So I mean, for me, I couldn't do it by myself, but don't we deserve a new America? I mean, because right now we're just running off of the old fashioned ways and we're just building off of how it all started. But I mean, look at how it all started. I mean, we can't build off that anymore. So we need a new America. Let the people speak. Let the people build how it's supposed to be because the America you know now is different. So it can't just be off of the people and traditions that had started back then. Because I mean, tell the truth, that was racist, and it was just the English people, and it was just for them, and it was already running people out, and we can't do that. Think about it. You can't really call yourselves Americans when Mexico and Canada is America too. So I mean, so you're dividing a country, a continent, I should say, in half and taking that middle portion, and then the people up here and the people below, they can't get to each other or do anything in between that because there's that country now, the United States, that says, well, I mean, we can only accept you and you, and under these terms, but it's like, you know, before all this government and everything, people were just roaming around, weren't they? I mean, just roaming lands and trying to find land and trying to survive, and now everybody's just cut off by borders, and it's kind of like Mexicans are Americans, Canadians are Americans, we're all Americans, and aside from that, it's hard to even utter the words United States when there's no unity between any of the states right now because every state has something different going on, and we're barely living under like one unity anymore. So I haven't said the pledge in a long time, not even in school. I mean, before this whole kneeling down on one knee, and sitting down protest, I've been doing that since, back in school. And that's years ago. I've graduated a long time ago. And I would still just sit down and not say anything because, justice for all and all this other. Like, I don't even see justice for the people that died lately. And I just see everybody just kind of like turning their shoulder, and the most unimportant things have become way more important than what's really going on. And people are so scared to speak up, and and trying to be so politically correct, that everybody is afraid to just look at what's happening, because to tell the truth, most people have that fear that if they speak up, that we're going to be monitored more, and the government is going to start leaking in and hacking into our stuff. People are already scared that, this webcam right here, I could be looked at by somebody through some kind of satellite, and it's, nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to get in trouble for this stuff. They're scared. We shouldn't have to be scared of our own government if our government's the one for us, protecting us. So it's just, you know, I really do think that should be a thing. We should do something about that. New America. I mean, I hate hashtags and all the social media stuff, but spread it that way. Hashtag New America. Let's get some new laws out there. Let's get some new constitution. Everything. Let's update. We update our computers. We update it. Let's update to the standards that we have today. We are the melting pot. So let's do it for our times. There's new technology. There's new living. There's new systems out there. There's new everything in this whole country. Yet we're living by a system that was created so many, like, hundreds of years ago. And it's like, but we're living in the now. So everything needs to be updated to what is going on now, where there's black people, Asian people, Mexican people. Like, we're all Americans, and it's not just slaves and immigrants and all the like this racist mesh that happened before. This is something real. We can do something about it, and we can change. I mean, tell the truth. It'd be better if we didn't have a president right now, because if we're forced to only choose between those two people, and those are the only two people that you're putting on TV for us to vote for, then maybe we should just take some time off and restart again. If Obama wants to stay in there and for a little bit longer, just to hold off, or even if he doesn't, and the people just speak and we vote on everything right now until somebody that's really qualified gets into the office, then what's the point? Like, I feel like it's not even politicians anymore. It's not even a real election. It's just reality TV. That's what it looks like. You know, it's a joke, and no nobody's. It's hard to take seriously everything that's going on, and people are just turning everything into a joke. And that's all the next presidency for the next 4 years is going to be, is a joke. So I mean, if you want to be the best joke in the world instead of the greatest country, go ahead and do that. But in my opinion, with healthcare, with people just wages, and the undeveloped cities, and I broke down buildings, the ghettos, and just so many people out here struggling, so many people out here having a hard time. Maybe it's time we focus on that and forget the less important things out there. I mean, the war has gone on for a long time now. There's a war going on outside our doors. There's a war outside, and people are trying to dismiss that, like people aren't dying, and like lives aren't being sacrificed unwillingly for no reason. So do we want to be the America that just you know just turns their head and tries to forget about it or make excuses for it? Or do you want to try to actually live up to being the greatest country on earth? The only way to do that is to prove it, because actions speak louder than words. So until we see healthier and more stable people and less poverty. And there's starving people here too. Like, where's the charities for us? I know there are some, but I mean, there's too many for other people. And I do know that everybody else matters in this world too, but take care of your people. And once you know that your people are completely squared away, maybe then focus on something else. But the wars and other things going on outside of here are very unnecessary right now because that's still not helping what's going on inside the country. So if you want things to change, then maybe we do need a new America. Make the states united again. Give us something to pledge about. Give us something to sacrifice our lives for. Give us something to be proud about. So, let's start a movement. America's about the people, right? That's what democracy is. Then let the people speak. So, anybody else who agrees with that, New America. Let's do it.